Come on. Come on. Let's go. Y'all know what time it is. Y'all, it's tough love time. So I got tagged in a few posts this week, and it's very interesting to me about, you know what I'm saying, some of the responses that I'm seeing about the situation. Jada Pinkett Smith and Will Smith obviously did a red table segment. I believe it was yesterday or the day before, where they talked about the infidelity that happened with the artist August. So I have some very interesting feelings and comments about the situation. So y'all come on in here. Let's have this tough love conversation. I want to see what y'all thinking about. Hopefully everybody having a great day. Let's get down and let's dig a little bit deeper about the situation. So like I was saying, I seen a lot of comments. I think it was like over 50,000 comments in regards to some people swaying in and weighing in for Jada, and some other people weighing in for Will, some people weighing in for August, and it was a lot of different comments. So I'm gonna break down some things. Y'all let me know what y'all feel in the comments. Do y'all even care about this situation? Is this something that hits home for you guys, or is this something like, wow, I can't believe it? So Jada Pinkett Smith basically confirmed that she wasn't in a relationship with August. When her and Will decided to go their separate ways and separate or whatever case may be. My thing about it is that, you know, these are the type of things that happen. So I don't think that's where the ding is for Jada. I don't think her having issues in her family with her marriage is the issue that we're having with this situation. A lot of people have applauded Jada for basically being able to come to her own platform and speak out on the situation. So I felt like, okay, cool. A grown woman doing what grown women do and adulting up, coming out and saying, you know, I've had issues in my relationship. My marriage has been on the rocks. However, I've sat down and I've actually had the hard conversation with my husband or whatever. So I definitely applaud them two for speaking out to the public when they didn't have to. However, I feel a certain type of way about this situation when it comes to Jada, and not the fact that, you know, she spoke out. I think the issue is when you dig deeper, because I believe that if Jada Pinkett Smith, if this was a man, this outcome and this support that Jada is receiving, I believe it would be different. A lot of people have compared the situation to the R.KELLY situation. I think that's a stretch. I think that's a big stretch when you think about R.KELLY situation. First of all, the people that he was accused of dealing with was a lot younger. I believe August was over the age of, I believe he was over the age of 21. So I don't think it's the same situation. However, just imagine this. Let me give y'all guys something to think about. Suppose you had a child that was troubled, that was going through something, that been, you know, sexually assaulted or whatever case may be, and, you know, lost some people in their family. And imagine taking your child to a person that is supposed to help them heal, that is supposed to give them some type of counseling and support, and that person sleeps with your child. How would you feel about that? And I think that's the angle that a lot of people took. Like, if you're supposed to be this healer, if you're supposed to be this counselor, if you're supposed to be this support mechanism, how do you then sleep with this with your son's friend? I mean, that's what it boils down to. If you guys didn't know, what happened was, August and her son, Jaden, became good friends. Jaden introduced August to both parents, which was Will and Jada. And when he introduced them at that particular time, he was sick. He was going through a lot of things, both mentally, physically. He was molested when he was younger. Parents had died, etc. So he was going through a lot at that particular time. I believe that at some point in time, Jada took it upon herself to say, hey, look, I'll help you out, you know. And so she started counseling him. She started doing those one-on-one things to heal him. That's what she said. So I was like, so when did vagina become the healing? Like, at what point in time during you and Will's spat and you were feeling a certain type of way, when did you decide that saying, you know what, I'm going to put this vagina on this young man and that's going to heal him? Because it's just amazing to me. It's like a lot of people are saying, well, why did August wait so long to come out? And I'm just like, well, hold on, wait a minute. To me, I see August as a victim. I see him as a victim because here's the thing. Again, if you take your child to somebody and that they're supposed to be helping them, that grown up is supposed to be helping them heal and giving them counseling, and the counselor sleeps with your child, whether it's 23, 21, whatever, but they know that person is in a vulnerable state. At what point in time do we say, you know what, man, that was wrong? At what point in time do we say, God damn, you know what, I didn't think about it like that? A lot of people saying, well, he's over the age of 21. He just heartbroken because Jada didn't want him. And I'm just like, well, here's the thing. I seen something that Derek Jackson has said or whatever case may be. And I normally don't agree with everything that Derek Jackson says, but I think he hit home when he talked about this particular situation because he said what you didn't see was them go back and forth in regards to, well, you did this and you did that. And I thought that was a very good aspect of maturity. I think that's what we need to see. Not just the black community, but people need to see people having infidelity or troubles in their marriage and they're able to come to the table and actually have a hard conversation. So again, I applaud Will and Jada for being able to come to the table and talk about their issues publicly. I could see frustration all on Will's face. And I don't think and don't get it twisted. I don't think this is a situation that Will Smith didn't sleep around when they separated. I think that Jada Pinkett's situation became so messy because it was so public. Like, you're taking pictures, y'all everywhere. So now the tabloids and the paparazzi is all on y'all. And of course you're denying it. So now it comes out that it was actually true. But a lot of people for some reason takes this stance that because it's Jada Pinkett Smith, what she did was correct. And I'm just like, how many people would feel the same way if that was your child that was broken? If that was your child that was feeling a certain type of way in reference to saying, hey, look, I'm going through a lot of things. I got a lot of things on my mind. And if you could help me. So she goes to him for help. And Jada Pinkett Smith sleeps with the man. Now let this marinate for a goddamn minute. Let this shit marinate for a minute. Some people say, well, he was a grown man and he was this and he was this. So let me ask y'all something. How many times y'all been in a situation and y'all got that dick in a glass jar available? That vagina in a glass jar available? You know, that person that you keep around just in case shit get a little rough. So here's the situation. I don't think that she kept August around as dick in a glass jar. I believe that she saw an opportunity. I believe that she coached him, she mentored him, she helped try to heal him, but I believe also she took advantage of that young man. And we're not saying that he was a little boy, but the thing about it is, if you're going through something, you're not in the mental capacity to deal with a situation, and you say, you know what, let me complicate things even more by giving you some ass. Let me complicate shit a little bit more, even though I know it's a lot of things that you got going on, but let me complicate this situation even more. They went on to say during their segment that basically Will and Jada decided to get back together. So they cut off all ties. And Derek Jackson did a good job at pointing out things. He said, I think it's a little bit more than that. And I think that what it was, again, I think August wanted to continue the relationship. I believe that he had genuine feelings because he now looks at this woman as a part of his healing process. To be with this woman is a part of his healing process. And I think that, to say, I'm going to go with the better bet. Of course, Jada Pinkett is not going to say, oh, I'm going to get rid of Will. Will's a breadwinner. Will's definitely, someone that has made his mark in Hollywood, is a household name. Jada is too, but we know that Will has done the bigger movies. He's the bigger star. So Jada knows that, hey, losing Will, Not that she can't get another man, but the fact of the matter is, hey, I got a good thing going on and I'm not going to mess this up with August. So she says, I'm going back to the breadwinner. I'm going back to Will or whatever case may be. So the issue is not only did you date down and you got the first available dick, you got wounded dick. You got wounded penis. And my thing about it is, it's amazing to me again how many women are not saying, hey, Jada, you was wrong. It's like it's okay. And then I think this situation would be flipped if it was a man. Imagine, fellas, okay, you take your daughter 23. You take your daughter to a counselor, one of your homeboys, right? And you say, yo, homeboy, hey, check it. My daughter's, she's been going through a lot of stuff. She's been depressed and whatever. And you find out a couple of months later, she is getting dicked down by the person you took her to. Echo. Like it's a lot of people saying that, this situation is different from the R.KELLY situation because this guy was a lot older. It takes two to have sex. But my thing about it is, if you're in a vulnerable state, can you say that you're in the right state of mind? How many people have done things in a relationship when they're in a vulnerable state and says, you know what, I wasn't in my right state of mind? When you're drinking, you're inebriated. Or when you're smoking a blunt or whatever, you high. How many people have done things not in the right state of mind? And my thing about it is, if you're a healer, if you profess to be a counselor, then you realize that these people are in a vulnerable state. Now, I want to argue with somebody. I don't even want to debate. I want to argue. I want somebody to argue the fact that if you consider yourself to be a counselor, a healer, that you don't realize that your profession outlines or inlines with the fact that you help people that are broken. You help people that are not thinking clearly. You provide some rationale. You provide some sensibility. You provide some reality. So when did that reality become, I'm going to have sex with you? Somebody talk to me. I mean, I'm looking at all of these comments on the Red Table Talk, and it's like, good for Jada coming out and talking. And I'm like, yeah, that's cool. That's great. I'm glad for y'all. But the fact of the matter is, this is much bigger than a woman saying, I'm separated from my husband. You could sleep with a whole lot of men. Why sleep with your son's friend? Does that not look tacky? Does that not look crazy as shit? And people like, yeah, girl, I'm with you. I support you. She slept with her son's friend who was introduced to her as a troubled person who needed help. And she decided, I'm going to help you by spreading my legs. Did we miss something, Jada? When did counseling become sexual practices? Did we miss, what counseling is that? Because I want to make sure I don't send none of my kids to that counselor. What counseling is that? Now, let's talk about Will's aspect. Everybody Will, he was a grown man. He took it like a G, but you can see the pain on his face. Of course, no guy wants to hear, hey, yeah, I was actually smashing that guy. So, blah, 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 blah. What we want to do is we want to say, well, hopefully during this breakup, goddamn, you start taking knitting up or crocheting or goddamn, I don't know, bingo. Nobody want to hear you was getting your back blown out by the postal worker. You know what I'm saying? So for this situation, it's definitely, it's an enlightening situation because you got to see situations like this and bounce it off your relationship. Because here's a great thing that I loved about what happened with the Red Table Talk. I love the fact that Will Smith said, we're not going to bullshit Jada. He didn't say those exact words, but let me tell you how he said what's going to happen. Okay. He said, so you actually slept with August. And she said, yeah, I was in an entanglement. First of all, Will said, no, you was in a relationship. Yeah, I was in a relationship. Jada, boo-boo, honey dip, come here. Sugar lamb, foot and put, come here. An entanglement. You was in an entanglement. Is that the position you was in? Because I want to know. I want to know. Here's the thing. Here's the thing. I love the fact that Will was able to talk to his wife, not disrespect her, not embarrass her, but actually come to the table and have a hard conversation for America to hear. I think that's healthy. I think that that's definitely on a road to recovery. I think that their marriage moving forward is going to be a whole lot stronger. I hope that for a lot of people that relates to relationship goals, that actually penetrates the bullshit and gets you down to saying, hey, we've been through something crazy. However, let's talk about it and move forward. What wasn't happening on that, it wasn't the blame game. What Jada Pinkett Smith showed is like, hey, I did this. I'm owning up to it. And I'm ready to talk about it. And when she talked about it, she didn't do a lot of deflecting. There was a couple times there she did some things, but Will kept her in line. But the fact of the matter is, it's beautiful to see people having this conversation because it's an uncomfortable conversation. Yeah, I was fellatio. Yeah, he was smacking my butt. But, somebody said she tried to dance around. She did a little bit. And like I said, I think Will, help correct the situation. And what I love about it is because a lot of times you hear all of these antics. At no point in time did she say, well, you did. What about when you, what about that? It wasn't like that. It was a civilized conversation that said, you know what, man, I could learn something from this. And I can appreciate these people for having this civilized conversation because it feels good. Now, maybe behind closed doors and when the cameras are turned off, it was another situation. But in front of us, man, doesn't that make you feel good to see? And then I'm going to talk to the black community real quick. But doesn't that make you feel good to see black people being civilized? Huh? He didn't call her out a name. He didn't say, I don't support you. Huh? It felt good. The little fist bump at the end. I was like, oh, that's some Barack Obama and Michelle shit. I said, okay, all right. I see y'all. But, I think, that this situation definitely gives us a massive light into you're going to have problems in your situation, in your relationship. But how are you going to deal with those problems? Are you going to get in social media? Are you going to air your spouse out? Are you going to air your boyfriend or your girlfriend out? Or you guys going to come to the table? Because everything is not a social media trying to figure it out. Because as you can see, there's a lot of people who thought what Jada did was cool. Oh, he a grown man. He decided that he wanted to sleep with her. Ain't wasn't nothing wrong with that. But if it was someone that was close to them, if it was their child, some people was questioning why August decided to come out now. You ever heard of something say, don't victimize the victim? How many women, when you talk about the Me Too movement, and then these women, the women that just came out against R. Kelly, Bill Cosby, all of these other people, right? And they say, well, why did they wait all these years? Or why did they wait all this time? Why would you victimize the victim? Some people say, hey, he ain't no victim, he a grown-ass man. But my thing about it is, okay, well, if he was a troublesome man, if she said herself, she said, I was trying to help heal him. So in order to heal someone, they have to be broken from something, correct? Huh? In order to heal someone, they have to be damaged from something. They have to be broke. They can't be whole if you're trying to heal them. So if you go into that situation as a counselor, as a mentor, think about your pastors. Think about your pastors. Think about the counselors at school. And imagine your kid at college. Because we got grown children at college, right? Young adults, right? And imagine telling your child to go to the counselor to get support, and that counselor turns around and starts sleeping with your child. Hello? If this was a male If this was a male, he would have been a pervert. He would have been a child molester. He would have been this. He would have been that. But I'm just trying to figure out, do Jada Pinkett Smith get a pass because of Will Smith? Does she get a pass because of her own career? Does she get a pass because she's a woman? Does she get a pass because she's a black woman? I'm just trying to figure out, like, how is it that people say, well, this is acceptable? This is okay. I need y'all to share this. I need some of these people to talk to me. I'm just trying to figure out, how do you break down and measure someone saying, I'm here to help you by giving you this vagina, and I'm going to help me too. And then we're going to break this thing off, because I'm going to go back to the cash cow. I'm going to go back to being a power couple, because I know I ain't going to be no power couple with my son's friend. There's so many lines that have been crossed. There's so many lines that have been crossed. That's like nobody's saying, hey, let's break this down and dive deeper. I saw a couple posts where it says that, Jada Pinkett should be ashamed of herself. And they did outline a few lines that she crossed. One, that was your son's friend. Line number 1. 2, if you are in a healing process, or you're kind of shaky and you don't know what's going to happen with your husband, if you're going to date out, don't date down. You know what I mean? Date somebody that's on your level. Because all of this basically showcases is that you was looking for something quick and easy. You was looking for easy dick. And you found it. You found it and you did what you wanted to do. And then when you were finished with it, you discarded it. And that is a savage moment. That is a savage moment. And right now, for some reason, that's something that's predicated in today's society, that being a savage is okay. Now, what I loved about the conversation again is the fact that she was able to, even though it was uncomfortable, right? She started moving around a little bit in the seat. She had the conversation. She had the conversation. And the thing about it is, I didn't hear her mention, well, Will, you did this and this and this. Somebody says, I don't think it was easy dick. Well, my whole thing about it is, I think it was. Fellas, let me ask y'all something. How many friends do you got? How many girlfriends do you got that just friends or whatever case may be, and they have issues with their man? How many times a woman that has issues with their man, how many times were you available upon call, text message, etc.? Hey, let's just go to a movie. Let's just hang out. And how many times were you in a position that you could have slept with that friend? And let's flip it around for the ladies. How many times were you in a position you could have slept with that man? At some point in time, if Jada Pinkett was serious about helping him, and I believe she was serious at first. I believe she was serious throughout the whole thing. I just felt like her need for attention, her need for penis, her need for sex, her needs was more important than helping him out at some particular time, which started this whole relationship. And that's exactly what it was. It was a relationship. So for those people that's defending this woman, instead of saying shame on you, we love you, but shame on you. We're not going to disrespect you because, of course, just like Derek Jackson said, everybody's human. And at some point in time, we all going to mess up. And I get it. I really get it. But it's how we mess up. It's how we mess up. I'm definitely not going to be dating down. That's like, I'm dating. I'm in a full-blown relationship and I'm going to go to the local high school. Hey, I'm going to get a senior from the high school because, since when does helping people mean that you need to sleep with them? Huh? Since when does finding broken people in need of some type of mental stability, some type of foundation, some type of shoulder to cry on or lean on means, you know what? Go ahead and lean your head down there. Okay. All right. Slower. Don't bite that. Don't bite that. Since when does it mean that? So for those people that don't look at it deeper and just say, well, he was old enough. Well, she admitted he had issues. There were issues in his life going on. That was her son's friend. So I don't understand that. I mean, I know it's a lot of cougars out there. Shout out to the cougars, man. Shout out to the cougars. That say, oh no, I like that young meat. Well, find you some young meat that's not broken. If you want a good time and you stellar, you want to get your groove back, find you some young meat that's not going through a bunch of bullshit, and don't profess to be a healer. Don't profess to be a counselor. Don't profess to be someone that wants to help, because then you're disingenuous. Oh shit. Huh? Then you coming across disingenuous. You can't come as someone that wants to help someone, but really you trying to get in their drawers. Ladies, how many times have you said to men, if you just want to have sex, be upfront about it? Huh? Keep me informed of what it is your intentions are. We don't hold Jada to that same standard? And she cut from a different cloth? So what about August? What about August coming out now? I need y'all to share. We need to get this conversation started. It's a tough conversation because this is tough love. It's that simple. All right? It's that simple. What about August? People said August decided to come out of nowhere and put Jada on blast. I want you back, Jada. You my boo-boo, Jada. Well, here's the thing. It doesn't matter how long he decided to wait to showcase this situation. Maybe he wanted closure. Maybe he decided, it's time. Some people may not agree with how he did it, but hell, people might not agree with how she did it. So you can't necessarily say, well, Jada was sleeping with a grown ass man. Right? And he knew what he was getting into without going a little bit deeper at the capacity. How did they meet? And what was the premise of their meeting? What was the purpose of their togetherness? So now that we got past that, what about August? What responsibility does he have? Was he in a capacity to know that, I am going through some things right now, and maybe I just need somebody to confide in. Maybe I just need someone to point me in the right direction, work on some breathing techniques, maybe some yoga, maybe, take a couple trips. And Jada made herself available. Interesting. Kissing them tattoos. Interesting. Well, we got to be careful, whether it's a male or a female. We have to make sure that we look at the entire story. A lot of people had comments before this situation even hit it so big in regards to them actually coming out and talking on a red table. A lot of people was like, I don't fault Jada. It ain't Jada's fault. And it da-da-da-da-da. I think the most probably embarrassed are the children. What about the kids? What about the kids? Because here's the thing. What about the son? Imagine being a son and introducing your friend with issues to your mom, and your mom decides to smash the homie. Oh my God. To give the homie the booty cheeks. Oh my God. Some fellatio. Imagine that. What about the son? Now, you know what? I want the kids to come. Just go get their kids and tell them come to the damn red table talk. Matter of fact, tell them come to tough love, goddammit. We need to have a conversation. Nobody in the comments was saying, what about the fucking kids? Huh? And I don't know how close he was to the daughter, but goddamn, we know he was close to the son. Imagine walking in the house. Will is in the goddamn condo in the Philippines or some shit, and Jada is butt naked in the living room with August drinking tea. Imagine being the son walking in there saying, there's my sick friend and my butt naked mom drinking tea. It's tea time. It's tea time. That is crazy as shit. I just thought about that shit. Like, what about the kids? Man, this is huge. This is huge. Huh? How does this relationship resonate with you guys? How does this relationship resonate with you guys? Do you relate to it because you went through something like that? I need y'all to share. Come on now, start talking to me. Goddamn, I'm reading comments now. How does this relate to you personally? How does the Jada and Will Smith situation relate to you personally? Again, if you just tuning in right now, this is Tough Love. I'm Mario J. How does this situation, I appreciate y'all sharing, thank you very much. How does this relationship relate to you? What does it do for your life? This is not, for me, this is not just a celebrity thing. This is a situation where I could be in that situation. You know, how do I adult up and have this conversation without saying, oh yeah, you did some other shit too? Huh? How do you have this conversation and stay on topic and say, you know what, we're going to handle this one particular situation. It's not about what you did last week. It's not about what you said last month. It's about this situation right here. Kudos to Will Smith and Jada Pinkett. Kudos. Very well done. Very well done. Very well done. And this is not to get on Jada. You know, Jada got her rocks off. We got it. And of course, you know, Will is not, you know, because we do know that they have an open relationship, or at some point in time they had an open relationship, or what, they're swingers. So I get it. But how has this affected you? How has this affected you? Have you decided to say, you know what, I can start talking my way through problems now by watching them? Does this influence you to say, you know what, maybe it's best that we deal with one problem at a time versus trying to throw everything at everybody and then they have to deflect, because you don't get anywhere with that? Okay. Paige says, I guess until we've been in their shoes, we don't know. I think we all, this is the great thing about seeing celebrities go through shit, right? Because when it's not about money and it's not about like clout and status, it's just about human nature. Like, we all can relate to human nature. You see what I'm saying? So I think this is a situation where we get a chance to relate to that human nature. We relate to breakups. We relate to whether we're married or in a long-term relationship, and you break up and you don't know what the fuck is next. You don't know what's next. You just know that, hey, look, I'm coming out of a situation, you know, what do I do next? How do I rediscover myself? A lot of people start, when they get out of relationships or whatever, they throw on a fuck 'em girl dress. Fuck 'em girl. Y'all remember that shit. Fuck 'em. Fuck 'em girl. Going to the club. Fuck 'em. Right? Fellas, call their boys up. We going to the strip club. Throw your one. Right? We going to the strip club. So for everybody, you know, it's different. Some people go to church. Some people travel. Some people stay to themselves. But I would tell you that, you know, jumping into a new relationship as soon as you jump out of an old one is probably a bad thing to do. It's probably a very bad thing to do, because what you're going to do is, especially if you haven't healed yet, you're going to bring a lot of that turmoil and that grief to that new relationship. And you're going to put responsibilities on that new relationship that's probably unfair to the person that you're dealing with. Because here's the thing, sometimes when we meet people, you don't get the full story. So you don't know mentally and emotionally they unavailable. So you think that you're building stuff up, right? You think that you guys are spending a lot of time. You having some great sex. Like, you ain't never had sex like this before. You know, they're hitting all the right notes in reference to jokes and all of the great shit. And it's just like, you know, like, hey, shit, I might want to take them home to see my family. This might be the motherfucker for me. And then here it is, you're dating 6 months into it, a year into it, and you find out, well, I was just separated from my spouse, and I'm going to go ahead back to him, or I'm going to go ahead back to her. So now you're in a fucked up situation. I think we can relate to Will and Jada's situation. I don't think we need to be celebrities for that. I think we just need to have human nature for that. And I think we do have human nature for that. So that's why I say it feels good to kind of see somebody else go through something, because it gives you a detailed outline of what you need to do or how you need to handle certain situations. But I would tell you guys before I get out of here is that, you know, if you are in a relationship, you know, adult up. Have the tough conversations. Do the things that's going to make your relationship work. And if it does not work, or you are doing some rocky shit right now, think about this. Before you bring your relationship to social media, before you call your parents, before you call your know-it-all girlfriend or your know-it-all boyfriend or whatever, before you get a third opinion, sit down and write down the pros and cons. What's good about this relationship? What's bad about this relationship? And then start saying, first of all, what outweighs what? If you get more cons than pros, it's time to leave, goddammit. It's time to move on. But if you get more pros than cons, maybe it's worth fighting for. Maybe it's worth sitting down and saying, you know what, I really appreciate what you bring to the table. I really respect who you are. I thank you for helping me, with my success, with my career, with my family, with my self-respect. So before you end something and you run away and you say, you know what, that's it, I'm out of this shit, fuck you, blah, blah, blah. And before you decide to say, since I'm not with you and I'm mad at you, I'm going to go bust it open for the nearest available dick. I'm going to go dive into some wet. Before you start having those soul ties and sleeping with people, whatever case be, because you're having a rocky relationship, just decide if that's what you really want to do. Don't make any hasty decisions is what I'm saying. I know some people got to break it down for because they just don't fucking get it. Don't make any hasty decisions. Think about what you want to do and just, move forward. But you don't have to, as soon as you break up on Sunday. You don't have to be sleeping with somebody new on Monday. How many people we done seen in post, this is my new bae, y'all, on Sunday. Then on Wednesday, all right, that other bae didn't work out, but here's my new bae, y'all. Then it's Saturday. Well, you know what? The first two didn't work out this week, but guess what? I struck gold this time. God done sent me a king. Stop posting your business on social media. Get you someone in your life that's going to give you the tough conversation and give you some reasonable advice. Stop telling everybody your personal business. I definitely appreciate and applaud Jada Pinkett Smith and Will Smith for having that conversation. As a black man, that definitely feels good to see. To see a power couple that wants to stay a power couple and just able to just have a conversation out loud without making her look bad. I believe she felt a certain type of way, and I definitely believe he's felt a certain type of way. But to leave on a high note and say, hey, we've had some fuck ups, but we're going to move forward and we're going to prosper. That is amazing. And at the end of the day, that's a good news story for everybody. Hey, this is Mario J. This is Tough Love. I need y'all to share. Leave your feedback. I'll go through the comments and try to answer y'all. But y'all be blessed. Y'all be humble. And don't forget to adult up. I'm going to holler at y'all.